We're live. I'm just hoping it's connecting to the joint that you set up, the stream you set up.
Let me see.
We'll know in 6 seconds.
Yeah,
But,
yeah, we definitely live. All right, so here we go.
all right,
Uh
we
Thanks for
live.
joining us today, family. We set this up a little bit ago. Oh, go ahead, Joe. Go say your thing.
What up, family? Was good. We ain't been
Mm.
live in a minute. It's probably been like over 6 months. We're excited to be here. I'm definitely excited to be here because I know Ty's been holding down the fort because I've been tied up with work. So, what's up, community? We just showing our faces. We're excited to be live tonight. We hope some of you guys pop in and show some love. We
Right.
love when you guys engage with us. You know what I mean? How you been, Ty? Everything good so far?
Been chilling, bro. Recording, posting stuff. I post, we post something once a day. You know what I mean? I try my best to do one a day. So yeah, I mean, let's get to it. Thank y'all. We finally crossed over 5,000 subs. So thank y'all for the support.
Thank you.
Yeah, yeah. It's baby steps, baby steps. We doing this for a little bit. So today we set up this live basically to talk about what everybody in the nation is talk about is the ICE situation, particularly in Minneapolis. Um, but I wanted to also talk about like the ICE situation overall. Right. So get Joe and I's perspective on the deadly encounter and what continues to happen from that point on. So um I mean, I guess we should just, jump right into it, get started. So I'll start off with sharing some videos and we'll react to these videos. We'll get different people's perspectives and we'll take it from there. So anybody want to comment, go at it with us. Listen, I love to smoke. Joe let us smoke. So
Yeah, chime in. We're
assume,
definitely very curious as to how you guys,
yeah,
where you guys fall on this issue for sure.
assuming y'all got smoke, but if not, then y'all can just tell us that we're doing a great job. All right. All right, here you go. So I'm gonna start it with this one.
After a weekend of protests coast to coast, overnight dramatic clashes outside the local ICE headquarters near Minneapolis. Federal officers deploying flashbangs in an attempt to disperse protesters.
You decided to invade our city.
This as the Trump administration vows to send in hundreds of additional immigration officers to the city by the end of today. All this days after ICE officer Jonathan Ross fatally shot 37-year-old Renee Good behind the wheel of her SUV. The shooting and its aftermath captured on multiple cameras. Top Trump officials continuing to defend Ross.
I truly believe this officer, in his mind, thought his life was in danger, which allows him to use lethal force.
And the vice president saying last week that the ICE officer deserved absolute immunity. President Trump asked overnight how he'd define that.
Well, I'm going to let the people define it, but immunity, you know what immunity means as well as I do. But, people can't be treating law enforcement that way.
Earlier on Meet the Press, the city's Democratic mayor, Jacob Fry, blasting the rhetoric.
There is deep mistrust because so many of the things that we are hearing are not true.
Make hold.
Meanwhile, dramatic new video showing immigration raids and arrests in the city continuing, and this exchange going viral.
You should get a real job.
Have y'all not learned from the past couple of days? Have you not learned?
Learned what? What's our lesson here? What do you want us to learn?
Following federal agents.
Give me my phone back. You can't take my phone.
DHS not responding to our request for comment at the scene of the deadly shooting, a growing memorial.
I don't know how much more we can take.
So amid all of that, this morning, Minnesota authorities are continuing to demand the FBI restore the state's role in the investigation into this shooting, which so far the Trump administration is refusing to do. Meanwhile, last week we reported Minneapolis public schools amid all of this went fully remote for the rest of the week. They are resuming in-person classes today with a remote option for the next month, quote, for families who may need it. Craig.
Maggie Vespa there for.
All right. So that's the first video I wanted to show. Thoughts, Joe? Thoughts overall on this whole Renee Good situation? I mean, whatever you want to address. What's your thoughts on it?
First and foremost, I want to recognize the loss of life. So rest in peace and condolences to Renee and her family and those who are been affected by the killing of her life being taken. So condolences as well. It's always a sad day when we have to see people die unnecessarily. And this is, for me, is another circumstance where someone did lose their life unnecessarily. Um, so first and foremost, right now, I've seen so many perspectives on the situation. As we can see, our government, our administration, the current party who's in power, they are in support of the ICE agent of Jonathan Ross. They are in support of giving full immunity to these agents. So we have agents who are now above the law. They have full immunity. They all saying that the officer acted in self-defense. So they're in full support of the agent, right? They're not, so I've seen, so when I remember when you first telling me we was going to talk about this, I was like, all right, so I don't know too much about this, right? I don't want to speak on something that I'm not informed about. I've seen various angles of the clip, right? So let's just talk with what we saw on the camera. What I did see was the officer walks up to the car with his phone in his hand to record her, right? He's getting her license plate, he's getting this. From what I saw from her when she was speaking to him, Renee, she didn't look off or crazy. She didn't sound aggressive. She wasn't yelling. If anything, I think her words were like, "It's okay. I'm not mad at you." You know what I mean? She was like, "It's okay." Like she didn't sound like she was trying to escalate the situation. She didn't sound like she wanted to be aggressive. If anything, her partner or wife, I don't know who the lady was a little more abrasive, but definitely not threatening, but definitely more abrasive. And it doesn't look like she was, from what I seen, bro. Like the tires, just are from my opinion, it doesn't look like her intention was to hit the officer. I don't know why anyone would put yourselves in front of someone's vehicle if you feel like you're in danger at all. Why would you position yourself right in front of someone's vehicle? I don't know why you would do that, but it looked like the tires were completely turned the other way. She wasn't aiming to go to the officer. She was trying to get away from him. And he fired 3 shots. He has to justify all 3 of those shots. The first one was when I think he was still in front of the car. And then the second and the third, when she was already past him, he shot through the side window. So he wasn't even in way of danger at that point. So my first opinion is I've seen the clips and it looks like it looks very unprofessional. It looks very messy. And I'm disturbed by the footage that I saw with these ICE of Jonathan Ross and what happened. So that's my initial reaction, right? We can unpack all that, but that's my first impression of the situation, just from what I've seen.
Yeah. So I'm gonna have to disagree with you. All right. So this was a couple days ago, right? This whole thing happened a couple days ago. Maybe a little less than a week ago. As of now. So more details have come out since since this video first became national. So now some of the details that we know about Renee Good is that she was a part of an anti-ICE group, and that they organized and sought out ICE operations and went to where they were, communicating with each other with the intended purpose of disrupting their operations. The operations meaning deporting illegal immigrants or confiscating them, however you want to, you know what I mean? Because I guess they're not getting deported at that exact time. They're being taken off the street, processed to eventually be deported. So she's a part of an anti-ICE group that goes around searching for situations like this and intervenes in any way she possibly can to make sure that the ICE agent isn't able to do their job and that the illegal person that the ICE agent is going for can get away. Right. So in this situation, she went there specifically to stop them from doing that. So the reason her car was in that position is because she drove in front of them diagonally to stop them from driving up the street. So the altercation that we see is the 2 ICE agents approaching her, one dude on her door, another dude in the front, the one that ended up pulling the trigger. They're trying to tell her to get out because they're like, "Yo, you're going to be detained. We're arresting you for this felony that you committed. The felony is interrupting official, federal business." So they're telling her to get out. She's like, whatever she was saying, yes, whatever. Oh, well, it's okay. I'm not mad. I mean, why would you be? You the one that drove your car into today's situation. So why you would be mad? I have no idea. I understand why they would be mad. But they're telling her to get out. Hey, get out, get out, get out. The dude he walks around in the front, and they're trying to, like I said, they're trying to confiscate her. They're trying to get her out the joint, and she drives away, or tries to drive away. The dude puts, he ends up pulling the trigger, and she ends up, passing away because he pulled the trigger. The reason I support the trigger pull is because we got to think about this. We got to think about this in like real life terms, not in magical cop not magical cop fantasies, right? If a person is inside of a car and they're driving, they're in front of you, that car is a deadly weapon. That car could kill you. My 9-year-old inside of a car could kill me. If he was in front of me, hit the gas, he could kill me. The problem is the issue I have with this perspective of, she wasn't doing anything, she wasn't being aggressive, blah, blah, blah. They gave her demands, get out the car, get out the car, get out the car. She was like, nah, I'm gonna try to get away. So think about it in terms of that ICE agent. Why? Let's say we are that ICE agent, or you're that ICE agent. Why would you, as that ICE agent, trust that woman, in the process of getting away, whether intentionally or unintentionally, won't end up seriously hurting you or unaliving you? Why would you trust her to do that in the process of her trying to get away? You wouldn't. So that's my 2 cents on it. This is gonna be a long, really, really long podcast today. I want to play different people's perspectives on it. But if you wanted to respond to what I just said, we can, have a quick back and forth. But I do want to play other videos or other people's perspective. I got a clip from Ilhan Omar. I got a clip from Tom Holman and other things going on in Minnesota. So if you want to make.
All right, no. So I do want to see the clips, right? We are going to show the clips, right. And like I said, if anybody is in the chat and wants to chime in, ask questions, contribute to the conversation, please do so. Pop in and out as you please. But we always love the engagement. So for those who are here, thank you. Man, if you want to engage, and we will address your comments. So. All right, I want to see the clips, right? But this is what we have to. What you have to justify. You and anyone who's defending with the ICE, what Jonathan Ross did, you guys have to justify the first, the second, and the third shots fired. You have to prove without a doubt. He has immunity from the government, so I don't know if state law can press charges on him over the federal. But I know that the government is supporting him and giving him immunity, right? But in court, you have to justify the second, the third, the first, the second, and third shots. So let's just make that very clear, right? You need to tell me why it was worth shooting some woman in the face who was unarmed, who from the video that I saw was not trying to hit her. The tire is completely turned to the right direction away from the officer. And I don't know why he would position himself in front of a vehicle that is on if he had a fear of his life. Because that's the easiest way to get hit by a car is to stand in front of a vehicle. I don't know why he would position himself in that way as well. But like I said, as we watch more clips, family, that's where I'm saying we have to justify not just the first shot, but the second and the third. But the first shot was the one that killed it, right? He shot her in the face. We have to justify killing an American citizen. And I just want to make sure that framing is correct. You know what I mean? So let's see some of these clips and then we'll keep unpacking because more details have come out as well. But I don't know, do you want to share the Ilhan Omar clip or?
Yeah, I can share that.
I don't know how much I value her opinion, but.
You can pretty much guess what she's going to say.
But you can put it up. It definitely adds another a prominent political figure.
Yeah. Let's go.
What you guys say, Ilhan?
The Trump administration is actively telling the public that journalists are misleading them. You heard what was just reported from the scene. What we know is that Renee Macklin Good and her partner were protesters. They were driving around Minneapolis. They were recording what some of these ICE enforcement officers were doing. And the local police chief says Macklin Good blocked the street with her car. President Trump has said that the partner was a paid agitator. That's the phrase he used. Secretary Noem alleged this was an act of terrorism. Given how much heat there is and the administration's scrutiny, would you tell Americans it's too dangerous to demonstrate and to go out and document as she was doing?
I think it is really important for Americans to record to create the level of accountability and transparency that we need. What we have seen in Minneapolis is ICE agents oftentimes jumping out of their cars. These are unmarked cars. Oftentimes they're wearing a mask. They're approaching, running towards cars. They're pulling people out of those cars. Oftentimes these people are citizens. Oftentimes these people have documentation of their legal right to be in this country. And we know that DHS has lied repeatedly when it comes to these accounts. So it is even more important for there to be recording from eyewitnesses every single time these actions are taking place.
But do you see from the recordings that we see, is there anything that you believe was being done that should not have been done by Macklin Good? The administration says she was blocking the road. They are claiming this is an act of terrorism.
Yeah, Renee Nicole Good, as you hear her say, she's not mad. She's sitting in her car, peacefully waving cars to get by. This agent, as you see, gets out of his car, automatically starts running towards her, trying to open her door. She feels scared. She tries to turn the wheel away. And then you see the other officer, who can clearly see the car is moving, move towards the front of the car, which, if they are saying that he has 10 years on service and is trained, he should know that you shouldn't be trying to get in front of a moving car. And so it is not acceptable for Kristi Noem and the president and the vice president to make these kind of judgments without there being a full investigation, even though we can see in the videos that have been produced so far that what they are describing is really not what is taking place. And so if they're saying that we shouldn't believe our eyes, then let the investigation take place before you characterize this mother of three as a domestic terrorist. Prove to us what documentation you have, that one, that she was paid, two, that she was agitating, and we can hear her say she's not mad, she's not upset. She's clearly trying to wave cars to bypass her. And so it's just, this level of rhetoric is unjustifiable to the American people.
Just quickly on that, you said accountability, and it's important for people to document what's happening. I just want to be abundantly clear, because the administration says that their officers are being stalked and harassed. When you say accountability, you are only describing recording like she was doing?
Yeah, I think it is fair for citizens to document what law enforcement is doing in their communities.
Yes, agents as well.
Well, there's also been violence against residents in Minneapolis.
All right, so that was Ilhan Omar's, interview with Face the Nation. Was it maybe 2 days ago, something like that? I mean, her response was pretty predictable. Do you have anything? Do you think she kind of cracked the egg of knowledge on you on this whole, Renee Good situation?
No, I mean, she makes so we're talking about ICE, right, as a federal agency. If we're going to the streets and we confront, like I say, if we're in Philly, we confront a Philadelphia police officer, I have every right to ask for his badge number, to even ask for a supervisor. Yeah. I can see his face. I can record him. I can report him to somebody, right? We're talking about agents, ICE, agents who can go into any community that they want. They have ski masks on, if you want to call them that. They have no badges, no way to identify what they're in. As Senator Ilhan Omar said, they are in unmarked cars. You don't know who they are. You can't identify them. They have, by law, they can detain anyone they want, even if you're an American citizen. And there are videos of them arresting American citizens and then releasing them later because they suspect that they might be undocumented. They have every right to take you without any probable cause. These are agents who are basically above the law. With minimal training is less than 6 months to do a job like this, which is insane, right? We're talking about this kind of an agency. And I think that is deeply problematic. I think it was problematic from the get-go. And then our president threw hundreds of millions of dollars to them. In fact, this federal agency got more funding than even some law enforcement agencies. They got a lot of funding from the Trump administration. So they're getting all this funding, all these new weapons, minimal training. I don't know, bro. Like I find this very disturbing. And like I said, anyone who is defending the officer has to justify that first shot. And I don't see that woman trying to hit him with her car. I just don't.
Okay. So I'm defending the officer. So I'm gonna take a stab at justifying the first, second, and third shot. So like I've mentioned this already, but in this situation, you're asking the officer to trust that woman that is trying to get away from an active investigation in which she's a part of won't inadvertently, either on purpose or by accident, hurt or kill this man. You want him to trust that. You want them to say, hey, get out the car. She like, no. Instead of getting out the car, I'm gonna get up out of here and drive away. So you want them to be like, oh, okay, well, all right, well, you want them to give her the benefit of the doubt when she hasn't earned the benefit of the doubt. She's actually done the opposite. She sought them out, and Ilhan Omar is talking about some. Oh, she's not mad. She's waving the cop. Why would the hell she be mad? She's the one that intervened on their investigation. She had nothing to do with it.
Well, she wasn't. What she's trying to say is that when Renee wasn't aggressive.
Okay,
in the video that I saw, she didn't look aggressive.
But she started the whole thing. She involved herself. She had nothing to do with it. They were not after her. She involved herself. She cut them off in the car.
But she didn't look aggressive.
Like, you guys can go around. No, you got to go to jail. There is no, oh, you guys can go around. It's okay. Yeah, you got to go to jail. There is no.
I got you. She was just saying that Renee wasn't aggressive, and
that's cool. But she should have not been aggressive and got out the goddamn car like they asked her to do. Not drive away. That is aggressive. Trying to get away is aggressive. Whether you do it with a smile, with a coke and a smile, or you do it with a mad face and a fu. That's still not good.
Do you think that she was trying to hit that officer?
I don't know. I don't know if she was trying to hit that. Listen, this is what I do. I know she was trying to get away. I don't think that she cared whether or not she hit that officer. That's what I think. That's what I can confidently say. I don't think.
But do you think she was trying to hit him though? Do you think she was trying to hit him?
I don't think she was trying to hit him. I think she was trying to get away. And if she happened to hit him, it would have been. It was what it was. So he got to make that judgment call because she was trying to get away. That's not really disputable, right?
So
but if she ran his ass over in the process of him getting away, then he would have been dead, and everybody been like, oh well.
I don't think she was trying to hit him. I think she was moving.
But it doesn't matter if she was trying to, though.
It does matter. In the court of law, it matters.
No, it doesn't matter. It doesn't. The reason that it doesn't matter is because whether she meant to or not, she still could have killed him. That's why it doesn't matter.
Shoulda, woulda, coulda, but she didn't.
Because
he killed her.
Because for all we know, he stopped her from doing it.
But she wasn't. She wasn't trying to hit him though.
Okay. Trying to hit him, like. If I'm the guy, I'm gonna make for goddamn sure she doesn't hit me.
Bro, you got all right, so just making sure, like I said, like they have to defend this in court, right? Whether or not it gets tossed out, whether or not the government pardons him, whatever happens, they have to argue and justify all three shots fired. We're talking about the first one right now. We haven't even gotten to the second and the third. We're talking about the first shot that killed her when he shot her in the face. We're talking about a federal agent shooting an unarmed American citizen in the face.
But she's armed with a deadly vehicle that could have killed her.
A deadly vehicle, bro?
Any vehicle is deadly.
So then why is he standing in front of
potentially hitting someone? It's a deadly weapon.
I don't know if you noticed this, bro.
People die by getting run over all the time.
In the clip, I don't know if family, if you guys have seen the clip, go back. If you haven't seen this part, go back and watch it, right? When he's trying to record the car, when the officer first has the phone, he's holding the phone in his right hand. You can tell from the reflection in the car. You can see his reflection. He's holding with the right hand. At that moment where her partner or her wife, I think that's her wife. I'm sorry, I'm going to say her partner.
It's her wife.
She approaches him and starts recording with her phone. And she's like, we're American citizens. We have a license plate. It's going to be the same when you come back, blah, 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 right? At that moment, when she's basically antagonizing him, saying like, you can go away, like leave us alone. He switches the phone to his left hand. That begs the question, why? Where's your firearm? On your right side of your hip. So for me, it shows that before he even got in front of that car and Renee drove off, he already had murderous intent. Why would you switch your phone from your right hand to your left hand, knowing that your gun was here ready to reach for your gun? If you like, this is way before the car pulled off. This is when he was still next to the wife. That for me shows that he was ready to kill somebody already before this even happened. He was ready to fire off. You disagree with that?
He was ready to defend himself. Now, so did you see the clip? Did you see the clip where
from a woman or the phone?
From a woman in a car.
I'm talking about why did he have to switch his phone to the other hand when the wife approached him?
I mean, I
Did
saw
he
the
feel
body
threatened
cam
by her?
footage. I saw the body cam footage. I don't know about that other
Well,
part.
you got to
but-
see multiple angles, bro. Like he
Okay.
had his phone in
So,
his right hand.
did you see the
He's
angle
approached
where-
by the wife. He
Okay.
switches his phone to his left hand. Why? So that he has access to his gun.
Okay.
In
So-
my opinion. Why
okay.
else would you
Well,
switch
don't
your
need-
hand?
He could be right-handed. You have no idea. You don't even.
Where's your gun at? Where's your gun?
We don't. Do you know? Did
It's
you
on
see
the
that
right
angle?
side of the hip. Yes, you can see it in the footage.
It could be what you mean? I'm left-handed, so my gun will be on my left side.
Bro, we have. Do you want to rewind the tape? It's on the tape. I'm not making it up. His gun is
Okay.
on his right hip.
All right.
So
Did
if
you-
you're
did
switching
you-
your phone
all right.
when you get approached by this woman, it shows that, all right, I got to get ready. He already
right.
felt intact. He was either upset or threatened when the wife
Of course
approached
he's
him.
upset. She drove him. Okay, but all right. Did
Yeah, but you got to
also see the
justify
clip?
killing some. You can't shoot somebody in the face because you're upset.
I didn't say that. You said that.
I'm
I
just
said,
saying.
Of course he was upset.
I'm just saying, like,
But-
you can't.
but-
I get. He might have been upset, but you can't shoot someone in the face because you're upset.
Because
Because after he
that's not why
killed her,
shot
what was
her.
it?
He
What
shot her
did
in
he
the
say?
face 'cause she almost ran him over.
After he shot
That's
her
why
in
he
the
shot her in the
face, his
face.
words were F and B. Right
But
after he killed her,
Okay.
body cam footage, he said F and B.
Did you also see the footage where the car actually hit him? Did you see that part?
The car did not hit him.
Want to bet money? Want to bet money?
Sure.
Let's bet $100 right now.
Okay,
I'll play a
I'll bet
clip right now.
$100. The car
Bet
did not hit
$100
him.
right now. All right, so
He did
no
not
Picks
get hit by that
Podcast
car.
family. Okay, I'm gonna play a clip right now for you. I got you covered. Here we go.
His instinct. So somebody in the chat just said his instinct was to protect himself because she wasn't listening to multiple attempts at telling her to get out of the car. Okay.
I'm gonna play
So we got people supporting Ty now, and that's
Wait,
fine.
wait,
Thank you for the engagement, family. We
Let me play the
appreciate
clip
that.
now. Let me play the clip now to where she actually hits the dude. The car actually hits him. All right. Since you didn't see that part, you saw the other part. You saw the other.
The agent who positioned himself in front of a car that was on.
The agent that positioned himself in front of the car got hit by the car.
Because that was smart.
Okay, whether it's smart or not, you said it didn't happen. So
If he feared for his life, I don't know why he was standing in front of that
CNN
vehicle.
clip of him being hit by the car and them acknowledging it. All right. So just give me 1 second.
A 37-year-old woman was shot and killed by an ICE agent in Minneapolis on Wednesday.
He did
Here's
not hit
how
her.
it unfolded.
He did not hit him.
CNN reviewed video of 3 angles of the shooting. The woman first can be seen in her car waving her hand out the window as 2 federal officers in a truck pull up. They then begin to approach the woman on the driver's side, telling her to get out of the car. At the same time this interaction is unfolding, a third officer, who would soon shoot the driver, can be seen walking from the opposite side of the vehicle. That officer draws his pistol as the car first reverses and then begins to move forward. He then fires multiple shots. Another angle seems to show the car making contact with the officer before he fired his gun.
That's contact.
The
You see
car
that? That's called contact. I'll rewind it for you. Rewind this motherfucker.
the officer
Here we go.
before he
Hey,
fired his
that's
gun.
contact. You think she meant to do
Oh
that?
my God.
You think
She wasn't
meant
trying to
do
hit
that?
him.
Oh
wasn't trying to
my!
hit that
So,
man.
so he should just trust. This guy should
wasn't
just
trying to
trust.
hit that man.
First of all, that's $100. He got hit by the car. That's being hit by a car. Is that not being hit by a car?
I guess that counts.
You guess. all right.
I guess that
listen.
counts.
I guess let's agree to disagree on this one. But
Did
yeah,
he
all right,
did he
let's-
throw himself in front of the car? Did he jump in front of the car?
No, he was standing there saying, "Yo, get out, get out." She hit him. That's called being hit by a car. I'm sorry to tell you, Joe. Like, all right, but listen,
And that
let
was
me-
worth shooting her in the face?
Yes, I think it was. I would have done it too, 100%. Yeah.
Jesus
So the
Christ,
question is, do you trust this person that's trying to sporadically get away, not to maim you or kill you? Do you trust this person to do that?
I would not stand in front of that vehicle if I didn't.
Okay, but whether or not you're standing there, you're him, you're standing there. Do you trust this person to do it, or do you say, "Oh, you know what? I know this person's heart, so they're not going to do anything to me.
I
They're
would not
fine.
have
They're
felt
just trying to get
threatened.
away."
I would not have
So you
felt
wouldn't have
threatened
felt.
by a white woman in her car.
So you just been like, okay.
I don't find white women who are talking to me respectfully threatening, bro. I don't. No.
Okay.
I don't.
Well,
So Ty,
let's agree to disagree.
so you've offered a couple things. Is there a perspective I can interject as well? Because I think there's something
Please,
interesting.
please,
that I think
listen,
that we should
I'm
raise
here.
now.
I'm here for it. I'm here for
So
it.
this is actually, I don't know if you guys caught this, and the reason why I want to share this too, family, for those of you who catch this live or see it afterwards, this is a perspective that is not getting a lot of mainstream coverage, but it's here and it exists, right? And I want to make sure you guys see this too. So this is actually from a retired ICE agent. He worked for the federal agencies for over 20 years. He was also responsible for arms training as well for federal agents, and he spoke on this issue on the news. And this has not been getting a lot of coverage, but this is a retired ICE agent. So I figured This is a perspective from an expert. Me and Ty are not experts. We can talk about it. Y'all in the comments, y'all not experts. Here's a retired ICE agent talking about the incident. And I just thought maybe we could watch a bit of that and add that to the equation, because I'm trying to add as much perspective as possible, because someone's life was taken, right? And we got to justify that. And that has to stand in the court of law, right? So I'm going to share my screen and I'm going to play it up, and then we're going to see what you guys, what if this offers any difference or changes any opinions, right? All right, let me see. How do I share my screen? Because I thought this was interesting. I was like, oh, this is I haven't done this in so long. Here you go, screen. All right, so check this out.
As cops, we're responsible for every single round that leaves our weapon.
Eric Ballier is a 25-year career federal agent who most recently oversaw use of force investigations for Homeland Security Investigations, or HSI. We asked him what to make of the tactics used by federal agents in the fatal Minnesota shooting.
In my 25 years, I've done hundreds of vehicle stops. If someone is fleeing, that is not a justification for the use of deadly force.
In this moment, the officer crosses in front of the vehicle. He opens fire on the driver, 37-year-old Renee Good. The government says the officer shot the driver in self-defense.
She then proceeded to weaponize her vehicle, and she attempted to run a law enforcement officer over.
But the footage tells a different story. In this clip, we see Good waving cars by, and one car drives past her stopped vehicle.
Like they're somewhat impeding the ICE guys, although you did see the SUV drive around them.
Next, officers exit the car and approach Good's vehicle.
Right out of the gate, it's escalatory in nature. And then the agent with the black mask reaches for the driver's side door handle to try to open it. From the video, like the reverse lights are on.
From this other video angle, we can see that the officer has already crossed in front of the car. He's holding a cell phone.
They are trying to essentially take some sort of recording or photograph of the driver to show or identify her as a antagonist to their enforcement operations. What he does is cross in front of and stay in front of a occupied running vehicle. You should not be intentionally putting yourself in front of a vehicle unless absolutely necessary. And with a cell phone in his left hand, he draws his pistol with his right hand, and in a very quick succession rattles off 3 rounds.
Under the Department of Homeland Security's use of force policy, firearms may not be discharged solely to disable a moving vehicle, and shooting at a moving vehicle is tightly restricted.
So my training was that you cannot use deadly or lethal force solely to stop a fleeing vehicle. Do you have another option other than pulling the trigger?
The Trump administration maintains the agent opened fire to avoid being run over, but the direction of the tires appears to be facing away from the officer to the right. There is still a dispute as to whether the officer was grazed or struck by the Honda. He continues to fire even after moving out of the way of the vehicle.
If she is intentionally trying to hit that agent or officer, those tires are pointed in the opposite direction, and the vehicle's trajectory after the shots would be continuing to the left.
After 3 shots, the car veers away. Oh my God! According to Ballier, both the officer's gunfire and the car accelerating could have put agents and the surrounding crowd of bystanders in danger.
These are all factors that law enforcement officers have to weigh before pulling the trigger.
All right. So that's a retired federal ICE agent, over 20 years of service, training federal agents in firearms, as well as handling cases of federal agents pulling out their guns and shooting someone or killing someone. So more expertise than anybody on this panel or in the comment section, right? And now you, just like you did to me, Ty. So what did you take from that? What did anything change, or any perspective you hadn't considered?
I think he sounds like a very credible expert. Yeah, so I would agree with him that it makes sense, right? Obviously, he has a lot more experience, well, 1,000% more experience than me. I've never done it. But I would agree with him that you shouldn't discharge your firearm just to disable a vehicle. However, I don't believe he discharged the firearm just to disable a vehicle. I believe he discharged the firearm to protect himself. And that's why whether or not charges get brought up against this guy, he's going to beat this easy, because they gave this person, hey, lawful demands. Yo, that's a felony. This interrupting ICE from doing their job in this way, or any federal FBI, a cop, whatever, cop pulling over, you locking some lady up, and if you a cop, Joe, you go to Target and some lady is stealing a bunch of stuff, and you try to lock her up, and some random person jump on you, that nigga goes to jail. Like he don't get away scot-free. Like, oh well, you know what I mean? Like that's a felony, I'm sure. Like interrupting within. So she voluntarily involved herself in a situation, and even in the videos that you show, her car was diagonal on the street to clearly block the ICE officers. So she blocked the ICE officers.
Oh yeah, I see that.
Yeah, and she's like, "Oh, just go around. It's okay. I'm not mad, bitch. Why would you be? You did this on purpose. So why it would be silly for you to be mad. So I don't even understand what her saying that with a smile on her face. Like, okay, you still got to go to jail though. We still got to take you in custody. You still got to go. So hey, get out. She trying to pull off. I'm gonna say this again. As the guy, I think we lose perspective when in situations like this, right? As the guy, why would you trust that this person isn't gonna hurt you either by mistake or on purpose? You wouldn't. And so why would you put your life in her hands or anyone's hands in a situation where they're not complying with you and they're trying to get away by any means necessary? You don't just take it on the chin and be like, all right, I'm gonna trust that this person has my best interest at heart and they're not gonna do anything too aggressive to hurt me. I'm just gonna trust that.
So if that was motivating him, why stand in front of a vehicle that was on, bro? That doesn't make any sense. If I understand your perspective, but it's to entertain that, I also have to question, okay, if I feel that way, if I feel threatened in any way, why would I position myself in front of a vehicle that is turned on from somebody that I feel like is threatening my life?
That's a fair point.
It doesn't make sense though. Like it's like, okay.
But if you want to play the why game, we got to play the why game all around. Why did this lady wake up, look for fucking ICE agents to impede? Why did this lady not listen to? Okay, cool, but she doesn't support what you can record, just like Ilhan Omar said. You can record. Nobody's saying don't record, but you change the game when you take your car and stop them from driving down the street. That changes the game. Now you're a part of the investigation. Now you got to go to jail.
But
so you're not just a stander by. You're not just an innocent American citizen just sitting there. You are actively involved in the situation. And
does that justify shooting her in the face?
No, that doesn't justify shooting her in the face. Her driving away, trying to drive away, justifies
in my opinion, her in the face.
Justifies shooting her wherever, as long as it protects that person.
That's crazy, bro.
And if you whenever I hear this perspective, I always hear like nobody would trust a person that's acting sporadically with their life. No one would. If I walked up to you and like, whoa, hey Joe, blah, you're not gonna trust me with your fucking life. You're not gonna do it.
I wouldn't. First of all, I wouldn't be in this line of work, right? We had the same argument when we talked about police enforcement. I'm like, if police officers are so scared for their life, why are you signing up for this job voluntarily? Police officers don't even crack top 20 dangerous lists of professions in the country.
It's not about being scared for your life.
But no, I'm just saying, if you're so afraid of your life from the work that you're doing, you should.
Everyone's afraid for their life, Joe. Like every single person is equally afraid for their life.
That's not my point.
Every person in the
whole world. You sign up
world.
for a job where there is risk. Like I don't want to put my profession out there because I don't want people looking for me on the internet. But I signed up for a job that could take my life at some point. I have a very dangerous job, so I know what the risk is coming into that job. If I go to a point where I have to do my job, and you know what I mean by that, I'm not going to share context because I don't want the community knowing what I do. If I have to do my job and I get afraid and I back out from doing that job, I will be a coward in my department. So what I'm saying is when you sign up for a job where you know there is inherent risk, and then you have people who are afraid to do the job, afraid to work in these communities, and then they shoot people or hurt people because of that fear. It's like, why are these people wearing these uniforms? Why are these people walking around with these badges? Why are these people policing or enforcing our communities when they're cowards? They're afraid.
Okay, so your characterization of him a coward. So let me throw a different perspective at you with your line of work, right? Not being too specific, like you said. So I'm trying to place my words carefully.
It's good. I just don't trust the internet.
No, I feel you.
I know my job.
So all right. So you said in a situation where you come to a situation and you have to back away, right? You're like, I'm too afraid. I gotta get up out of here. But that would make you unfit for the job, right? Also, what would make you a downright idiot is if you go to a situation and it's already too late. and you want to be a goddamn hero and take steps that you shouldn't take, knowing that you shouldn't take it, but you do it because it's like, oh, well, this is a sense of pride for me because I did this and I feel like you would be a genuine idiot. If you feel what I'm saying, you understand what I'm trying to say without, okay.
Yeah, no, I got you.
So, but in that situation, you would be a genuine idiot, but you would be unalived. In this situation, I compare it to that. Why would this guy take this unnecessary risk? Why would you take this unnecessary risk when you don't have to? When you should just sit back in your whatever and chill. Why would this guy take this unnecessary risk of this lady, hoping that she doesn't inadvertently or on purpose hurt him? There's no reason for him to do that, and he would be a genuine idiot to do it.
Well, if you believe she was trying to kill him, then I get that. If you don't, then I feel like she was murdered. She was murdered. You killed. She wasn't a soccer mom, but in my mind, it's like you killed an unarmed soccer mom. You know what I mean? Like the chick was 38 years old. Renee, sorry. Shot her in the face. Unarmed, not aggressive in the video footage. Tires showing that she was driving away from the officer, and you shot. So listen, you got to stand not only just in the court of law, but also the court of opinion. I don't know if you guys understand, family, and like, don't take it from me. Go do the research yourself. Support for ICE has already been plummeting over the past few months. It is tanking right now because of this. There have been mass protests because of this. People want ICE out of Minneapolis. I'm sure other cities want them out of there as well. This is plummeting. And not that race was a factor in this at all, but also keep in mind, they're digging dirt on this guy, Jonathan Ross, and everything he's done. We know that he was an Iraq veteran. We know he was in the military. We also know that he was a supporter. He also supported the Proud Boys.
Those are good things.
No, I'm saying. I'm just saying they're digging up a lot of it. No, that's not a bad thing. The retired agent who was speaking on the tactics too, he's a veteran too. So shout out to our veterans. But I'm just saying, like, we know now, based on his social media posts and everything he was doing, that he also supported the Proud Boys. Are you guys familiar with that organization? White nationalists? Well, anybody. Does anybody know who the Proud Boys are? Because we've been talking about them for a while now, right? He supported the Proud Boys. He defended the Proud Boys. That's why him and some of his family members started distancing themselves from him. So support for ICE, which for me is already problematic. You have people who are already supporting white nationalists, fascist, Nazi groups in these positions, harassing communities of colored people.
Well,
that for me already shows that like there's already something inherently wrong with what's happening here. He's one of those people. I'm not saying all of them.
It's irrelevant though because the woman was white.
But you're saying why would she interject? No, that's what I'm saying. It's not about. It's why would she interject and put herself in a situation to stop law enforcement? And I remember the great Dr. Martin Luther King was the one who said you should protest unjust laws. You should be protesting unjust laws.
Protesting
so just because it's law doesn't make it
no.
right.
I'm gonna fight back on you on that one. Protest unjust laws. Enforcing illegal immigration is not an unjust law. It just became unjust when Trump became president. For whatever, like that. It wasn't unjust at all. I disagree with this characterization. So if you think that enforcing illegal
no, not just that. I think that
unjust. That's not unjust at all.
They can no. So I remember earlier I said ICE agents can now, without a warrant, without probable cause, go up to American citizens, not just undocumented people, ask them if they're undocumented. And whether or not they like that response, they can take those people. They can detain those people. And then after they figure out, listen, I'm not lying about this, bro. You're telling me what's unjust. I'm telling you that they can literally go around harassing American citizens, not undocumented.
But once they get their ID and they say, hey, I'm Sam Jones, this is my ID. They be like, okay, my bad. Have a nice day.
This is like stop and frisk on a federal level. Do you not see the parallels between this and stop and frisk? Do you not think there's any similar? Do you not see the parallels between this and stop and frisk? What was happening in New York? This is on a federal level, where American citizens now anybody can be detained by these agents who, like I said, can't be identified, are wearing masks in unmarked cars, have full immunity now from the government, can do whatever the hell they want to run rampant in these communities. Now they shot someone in the face, and they're probably going to get off with it. Like this is what the American people are facing. This is what the American people have to deal with now.
Let me play another clip. Another perspective on it. So I showed two. Okay. Well, you showed one. It was like a I mean, I don't think
it was a retired ICE agent. I thought it was relevant.
I like the I mean, he's an expert. So I mean, we want to hear from experts. Us here at the No Picks Podcast, we do our hard hitting journalism. So I mean, that's what we got.
Not Ilhan.
No, not Ilhan. Scott Jennings.
I agree with you, Jonathan. I think there's some details we don't know yet, and we'll have to learn more about it. What strikes me is First of all, it's extremely sad and unfortunate that someone died. I mean, the political fighting and disagreements aside, it's terrible. You don't want people to die in law enforcement situations or otherwise. But it strikes me that we are undergoing an epidemic of political vigilantism right now. Why are people showing up in vehicles, in convoys, not just in Minneapolis, but all over the country in an effort to obstruct lawful federal law enforcement activities? This is not an isolated incident. We have had hundreds of car rammings against ICE agents all over the country. According to DHS, this lady in this car today, along with other vehicles, had been tracking ICE agents around. Why are people believing that they can drive their car into a federal law enforcement situation and that is an appropriate thing to do? I understand they don't like the fact that these agents are enforcing existing immigration law, but that's not how we change laws in this country. If you don't like a law, you talk to the politicians. You don't drive your car into the middle of a law enforcement situation that's being occupied by the people who are simply there to enforce the law. If I don't like how much the IRS is charging me in taxes, I don't drive my car into the Treasury Department and try to run somebody over. I call my congressman. Political vigilantism is being encouraged by Democratic officials like the Lieutenant Governor of Minnesota, Peggy Flanagan, who earlier this year told people to, quote, put your bodies on the line, and Tim Walz calling these guys Gestapo all year. What do you think happens when you radicalize a base of people about this?
Strike me. All right, so that's Scott Jennings from CNN. He's the clearly conservative, the very few conservative voices on Abby Phillips' CNN primetime show. I mean, you got anything? You want me to just play the next John? Because I'm sure you hate everything he said, or do you agree with some stuff he said? Like, what's your thoughts?
I think trying to say that Democrats are like promoting or trying to radicalize their base for me is ridiculous. That I don't see. Okay. I don't see that if you see a few instances of that, sure, but on a grand scale, or is that the majority? Absolutely not. That is not a message that I see from the Democratic side. And I hate Democrats, and I'll still say that. I don't see that at all. Not at all. Sorry. I don't see that as like the main, something that's happening in the majority, most of the time.
But do you think it's a problem that people are
problem on both sides?
Well, no, I wasn't talking about that. I was saying something.
I thought you were talking about radicalization of your base.
Yeah, no. I'm saying, do you think it's a problem that because people don't like what ICE is doing, they think it's okay to organize online and actively get in their cars, find where ICE is, and actively disrupt their operations? Do you think that's okay? Do you? Okay.
I think that's okay. I think it's called civil disobedience, and I support it.
Wait, so you do think it's okay? So you think them driving in front of ICE and stopping them from doing their job?
He said the proper way to do it is to consult your politicians. Politicians in this country are scum. Most of them are paid off by AIPAC or some kind of special interest group. They don't care about us. Our politicians are corrupt. They don't care about. So trying to go to the political route for something this tense, this aggressive, this no, I mean that is a route, but that's not
just be clear. An option anymore. You're saying that they should do this stuff. This is a good idea. They should get in their cars and drive into ICE convoys.
I support Americans supporting and fighting for each other, even if it's against the government.
But these people aren't.
I do that. I support that.
Right. Listen, let it be known.
Hey, listen.
As far as No Picks Podcast goes, this is something we don't agree on. I don't think.
Listen, I hate the Democrats. I hate Republicans. So you guys know I'm not
capping. Well, it's not even. This not even.
What I'm saying is, to me, the Republican side, because you don't like when I say your party, but like the Republican side had no issues when freaking people were storming the Capitol, and a lot of those people even got pardoned for what they were doing. So like, I don't know, bro.
That's not true, Joe. A lot of Republicans condemn that shit. Mike Pence condemned it. Like every prominent Republican condemned it. That's why everybody thought
President pardoned a lot of people.
Yeah, well, because he won. But that's why everybody thought he was politically dead. No one thought Trump was going to win largely because of the January 6th shit. All the prominent Republicans shitted on Trump. So don't make it seem like they were all like, "What? We don't see, no harm, no foul. We don't see shit." They all got in his ass. That's
about what happened about storming the Capitol.
About storming the Capitol, they all were like, "Yo,
do you think that's more on Trump and not the party?"
What happened?
You're saying that's more Trump's fault, not the party.
Well, yeah, he was the
one.
I'm
just clarifying.
Yeah, no. I think that it predominantly happened because of him. He was the one that incited all the shit. He was the one that was like, "Oh, they stealing it from me. They stealing it from me." I mean, and his own vice president at the time came out against him, like, "Bro, like this shit was wrong."
We got a comment.
Oh,
So we got a comment. So we got a comment from one of our members. Thank you so much. And she said, as a mother, how could you feel so strongly about something that you're willing to risk not making it home to your kids, whether it be because you get arrested, killed, whatever, right? Great comment, and that's more to your sentiment, which is like, why would she put herself in that van? Why would she go down to Minneapolis? Why would she put herself in this position? Right. So do you want to speak on that, Ty, or we can both comment on that? But like, how did you?
I don't no, I don't understand. First of all, I don't understand why she involved herself in this situation. Like I'm like, I can't wrap my mind around the fact that, like, listen, the cops, I'm Joe from the hood, I'm from the hood. The cops have, I'm sure the cops have been fucking with my friends for a lifetime. I've never seen a situation where, you know, one of my friends get pulled over or they run up on somebody on a block, and then other people be like, oh no, fuck that. We gotta stop this cop. Nigga, hell no, they don't do that shit. So I can't relate to this. And I'm someone that has been around the negative end of the law. Now I've never, let me not say that, but I've never, you mean as a youth, I've never, nothing crazy has ever happened. So I can't really relate. If it could be my best friend, I'm going to be like, I don't even want to say a name, but a person that you know, that we've done podcasts with, got locked up. And I did not jump on it when we were in college together. Guess what I didn't do? I didn't jump on the cops and be like, get away, bro. Go get away. I'm going to take care of this shit for you. Hell fucking no. I was like, all right, well, listen, bro, let me know how I can help. They put his ass in a cop car. He went to the jail. I wasn't like, oh, we're going to square up right now. Cops, you got me fucked up out here. Hell fucking no. So I can't relate to it. I don't understand.
All right. Well, I'm okay. Well, Nikki, I'm gonna respond to that as well too. So for me, I appreciate your comment, and I definitely understand. Like, I'm a parent too, right? As a father, I would be like, why would I want to endanger my life, knowing I have a family, right? But for something that you're so passionate about, right? So what I'm gonna say is that happens all the time, Nikki or Nick. Nikki, I don't know. I'm sorry, but the user who asked that question, it happens all the time, right? And I always take it back to examples that hit home for me, right? So what would you say to say like somebody who was a part of the civil rights movement, somebody who was walking down there getting hosed down, getting attacked, getting beat, when they had families at home, when they had kids at home, right? So a lot of these people had kids at home when they were out there getting beat, getting brutalized, getting murdered. They were protesting for their freedom, right? And they did that because they were passionate about it. They did that because they were protesting unjust laws. So at some point, the American people, you have to fight for your rights. A lot of the rights that we have weren't given to us. People fought for them. So people put themselves in danger. People put their lives in danger so that they could fight for what they were passionate about. So this is something that has happened throughout all of American history. I got to finish my response, bro. I didn't interrupt you. I just want to make sure, because I know you got something to say, but I just want to get it out there. This is not something that is uncommon. It's a part of American history. We have people who sign up for the U.S. government and go fight wars so that we can have certain freedoms and certain privileges. They leave families back home. Sometimes all families get back is a Purple Heart, or whatever that medal is when someone dies. But they go out there and they die with pride, and they die for their cause, for something that they're passionate about. So people putting themselves in danger is just a part of the human experience, is a part of the American experience. This context is no different. She was passionate about this. She was processing something that she was passionate about. She put her life, she didn't know she was going to get murdered for this, but she put her life in her line for that. And she died nobly, in my opinion. So just letting you know, this is not something that's uncommon. People fight and die for things that they're passionate about, put themselves in danger with knowing that their kids are at home. I do that with the profession I have now. I have 2 beautiful daughters and a wife. I'm in a profession that is very dangerous and I could get killed myself. I do that knowing the risk, but I do it because I'm passionate about the work that I do. So it happens all the time. That's all I'm going to say about that comment.
With the civil rights thing, I understood why they did it, and I would have been on the same type time, because they had skin in the game. Like, it directly impacted their life. This woman has nothing. Like, they're fighting for illegal immigrants to just live in the country. That doesn't make any sense. Like, I don't understand why you would I don't know why you would risk all this for someone that's here,
because they're human beings. Because they're human beings, just like she is. They're human beings.
That doesn't.
Right. Of course, I've already told you guys I'm biased. My mother, for the longest time, wasn't documented. She was harassed by ICE agents. She was harassed by Homeland Security. So I have skin in the game. And I can tell you right now, my mom has never broken laws. My mom was never up there hustling drugs. My mom wasn't out there trying to fraud the system. My mom was just trying to get by until she got her naturalization, right? So there are people out here who are just human beings, just living, just existing. And all of them have different stories as to why they're here. But I can tell you that they have families, they have people who love them. Many of them aren't breaking any laws. Many of them are paying into the tax system somehow through consumption or some other way. Some of them are here on visas. Undocumented people who are here on visas as well are immigrants. Like they are human beings. And there's a lot you can. Some people are just selfless. I always told Ty, like, if it comes to choosing between the government and law enforcement and the people, I'm always going to go with the people. If it comes from choosing against the billionaire class or the wealthy and the working class, I'm always going to choose the working class. We are the mass. We are the people. So she supports that. And I being that, given that I have a history of political activism as well, I completely understand her passion. I'm much older now. I'm not in my, well, she's pretty much around my age too, but I'm just saying, I was engaged in political activism for a large part of my life, even in college. I was protesting ICE when I was in college. I graduated in 2009. So this issue with ICE has been going on for a long time now. I was protesting ICE back in 2009. You know what I'm saying? So like I go back with ICE. So
let me play another. Let me play another clip. Another perspective. Let's see what it adds to the conversation.
But she said, but you're doing it to provide for your family. She isn't getting deported. She's not fighting. I don't think she's, listen, once again, I feel like I'm quoting Dr. King, right? And he said, injustice anywhere is a justice to everyone. You know what I'm saying? Like, I'm probably slaughtering that phrase, but he was like, you're only as free as your freest person. You know what I mean? Like, you gotta, like, that's how free we are as a society. You're only as free as your freest person in your society.
So you support basically like unlimited illegal immigrants. Like there shouldn't be any borders. Is that something you support?
I'm not, but I also support doing things in a way that is humane, that is respecting people's integrity, people's dignity, people's families, not getting people shot in the face. I'm all for a process that is humane. That's what I support. That actually is not above law, with agents who have minimal training and have full immunity. I don't support that at all. That gives fascism.
So there's a push out there to matter of fact, let me play this real quick. Let me see if you agree with AOC with this.
I don't agree with nothing she says.
You might agree with this based off what you're saying.
Government funding, we're about to run out of money. What should be the red lines when it comes to ICE funding? When it comes to DHS, should there be policy or reduction in funding? What should be the options?
I mean, in terms of which deadlines line up with which goals, that's a tactical decision to be made. But my position has always been clear that ICE funding should be cut. We're seeing what they're doing with this reckless explosion in funding, and mind you, just so everybody knows, I want everybody to understand the cuts to your health care are what's paying for this. All that extra money that everybody's paying right now in their premiums, all that extra money that you're paying, it is paid for it is all of that extra money that the government and the ACA subsidies that was given to nearly $1 trillion in healthcare was taken out and given to ICE. So understand how these dots connect. You get screwed over to pay a bunch of thugs in the street that are shooting mothers in the face. That is what this administration's doing. That's what the Republican Party did.
So what do you think of your girl? Well, not your girl, but what do you think of AOC? Do you think I should be defunded? Open borders, fuck it. Everybody, you come, you live. It is what it is.
That's not what I'm saying at all. I've made my point already. I said that we should have a process to combat illegal immigration. We should have a system that works for us, so that we're not getting an influx of immigrants. I'm also not saying that America is not responsible for that influx of immigrants. Like if we get because we go into these countries and we meddle with these countries and do regime change and we privatize their resources and we cause all these wars that are happening and people come fleeing to the country, then we get mad when they come here, when we've disrupted their whole way of living in their countries. But I do think that there should be a way to combat illegal immigration. I just think it should be humane. I don't think mothers should get shot in the face like AOC said. I actually support that message. I do. I support it.
All right, so I want to pivot, right? So I know you think like this pisses me off a little bit. I know you think I'm like hardcore MAGA, go Trump, go hard. This is what I do every day, all day. But the problem is this. I'm a born and bred Democrat. I've become more and more conservative as I grow older, but it's like I look at the both parties and I'm like, yo, who do I align with more? And it's like the Democrats have become more and more unreasonable. Like their positions on things make me by no other choice pivot Republican, because I'm like, this is so crazy. I gotta go here because like this is crazy too, but this is less crazy. So I gotta go with them because these motherfuckers are out of like just unfeathered illegal immigration, which the Democrats have supported during 3 years and 9 months of Biden's presidency. Because right before the election, you remember they put those executive orders in and they stopped the whole illegal immigration shit like right then and there, because they used to bring that up on interviews with Kamala, like, yo, what's going on? Why did this shit stop all of a sudden after y'all took some polls and realized the American people don't want this shit? She was like, they're like, okay, well, why didn't you do this 3 years ago? Why didn't you do this 4 years ago? They're like, oh, well, they had nothing to say, because their position was, yo, you can come here if you want. We don't really give a fuck. We not gonna make ICE do their job. I think us during that 4-year period got used to ICE never doing a job, and now we just like, all right, cool, it is what it is. So it's like the pendulum just swung the whole opposite way. One way it was like free for all, everybody can come do whatever they want, live their life, nobody gives a fuck, and they come. We did podcasts on it. They came over from Venezuela. They got apartments in New York. People were getting pissed off. They were going to Chicago, getting apartments and $4,000 in food stamps. The residents of Chicago was like, yo, what the F?
And I was with you with that, bro. I was with you.
On?
They were giving food stamps to these undocumented people in these hotels while Americans were still struggling to get by. The working class was struggling to get by. They weren't getting these benefits. I'm always with you on that, bro, because I'm big on America first.
Right.
Not the way Trump says it, or the way the MAGAs have taken over it. But I agree that American citizens should be prioritized above everything else.
100%. So Trump wins. The pendulum swings the whole opposite way. So it's like, yo, we putting ICE on it. We giving everybody $50,000 to join ICE, a bonus ICE. We taking an age requirement away. We don't care if you can read. We don't care if you can write. We don't care if you can do nothing.
You think that's okay?
No, I mean, I'm being silly, but that's not what it is. But
they cut the physical part too, right? They had to cut.
Well, people, you and I did a story on it. People. They got like record people getting cut from it, because mad people are coming in there when they go to Georgia for training, they're getting cut. They
had to cut. They had to lower the bar because people weren't even doing the sit-up requirements. Like they were so out of shape. I'm like, damn, bro. Like, who the hell y'all hiring to be ICE agents, man? Like,
I mean, I was about to make an untasteful joke, but I'm not gonna do it.
Don't get us banned, bro.
but yeah, no. So my thing is this: the pendulum just swung, right? And listen, this is what I disagree with the Trump administration on. I disagree with the Trump administration for setting the tone for this us versus them mentality. So it's like they made it like, yo, we're gonna go in these sanctuary cities, these Democratic run states, and tell them what the F to do. When I think you shouldn't have done that, because the people in those cities, those states, they're gonna fight against that. That's the American way, right? Like, we're going to fight against that. We're going to protest. We're going to do this. We're going to do. So it's right. So that's the American way. Now I disagree. Now getting in cars and trying to fucking stop ICE convoy, that's crazy. I think I can't really understand. I don't that part of that going to that extent. I don't get. But let's agree to disagree on that one. But my point is, the Trump administration bears a lot of the responsibility and a lot of the blame for going to this extent and going as hard as they did to make this us versus them mentality. What I think they should have done, and what they should do now, is give the resources, like send ICE to places that are welcoming to ICE, like the southern states, the states that will support you, whatever, the ones that are not sanctuary cities or not sanctuary states, send them there. And in contrast, those sanctuary cities, those sanctuary states, cut off the federal funding to them. So not cut it off, but what I mean is this: say California gets $20 billion a year in federal funding from the federal government. You give them that $20 billion January 1st. You be like, listen, because you are one of those states that are hostile to ICE and won't cooperate with ICE without us putting all these resources and doing all this crazy stuff. We don't give a F what happens to y'all after we give y'all this $20 billion. It's up to y'all. Y'all can have another fire. Y'all can have an earthquake. Y'all can have a volcano blow up in that joint. We're not giving you $1 extra of federal money because you guys won't give us the authority that we need in order to go into this place. So it's your decision. It's you're making that decision based off what you want and what your constituents want. So you should bear the responsibility of that. So we're going to give you this $20 billion, but you can't come to us for any more money for any circumstances at all until the next fiscal year when we give you another $20 billion. You feel what I'm saying? So if Texas needs something, if you'd be like, okay, cool, y'all cooperating with us, Texas, boom, here y'all go. We're going to give y'all $10 billion more. You need to pay for this, you need to pay for that. Boom, we giving y'all more money. But Illinois, Pennsylvania, because Philly's a sanctuary a city. I didn't even know that, but Philly's a sanctuary. Pennsylvania, Illinois, LA, a bunch of other states. Be like, okay, cool. We're going to give y'all allotted billions of dollars for the fiscal year, but y'all can't come to the federal government for shit else because y'all won't give us the authority that we need to conduct ICE investigations. What's your thoughts on that?
At least people have an option. I'm okay with people. I'm okay with states having the option to be like, nah, we'll pass on it, instead of just like, the administration forcing these agents onto us. I would prefer that over what we have now. At least, like I said, people have the option. And as we can see now, and like I said, don't take it from me. I mean, I know I'm biased, but like, just look at the data. ICE is becoming very unpopular. Usually, general rule of thumb, Americans usually support law enforcement agencies. As a rule of thumb, they generally go with the law enforcement agencies, right? For whatever reason, but they do. I'm not one of those, but for the most part, general Americans do. Support for ICE is plummeting. You have people saying that their families are distancing themselves from their family members who are ICE agents, worried that they're not going to be able to find employment outside of when they finish doing their ICE stuff. Like, support for ICE is plummeting right now, right? So if states should have the option to be like, we don't want this nonsense happening. We don't want this in our state, and I support them having that option.
Even if they don't get the federal funding that they need, regardless of what disaster they have.
But why should that be the deal breaker? Why are
you can't get favors from the federal? Like, we gave you your allotment of money. You can't get favors from us while denying us shit. That's like giving your kid an allowance and you being like, yo, go clean your room. She'd be like, man, go suck a dick. Like,
what's the money for though? What's the
whatever? Well, for operating, like, it's like whatever they give those states money for. Like, I can't, you know what I mean, for everything, right? For that state to operate their budget, right? So whether it's health insurance, whether it's the police budget, all that shit, like, the federal government gives those states billions of dollars, whatever. I mean, I don't know what state gets what, right? But they give them billions of dollars each year, which is why when these natural disasters happen, they come to the federal government like, damn, Katrina happened. They like, yo, can you give us some money? Like, help us out.
Yeah, but they got cut already. FEMA got cut.
Yeah, well, I'm saying like they give them money.
They already cut that.
they'll give the state money directly, right? Like they gave the state money directly for the LA fires, right? They're like, yo, even though we gave you your allotment, boom, here's $2 billion more to help rebuild and do whatever you need to do, right? So I'm saying that the states would be like, yo, we're not giving you, with the government, the federal government would be like, we're not, hey, Illinois, hey, Massachusetts, hey, Pennsylvania, hey, California, we not giving you shit else because you won't let ICE come there and do their job. So we're not going to send ICE there. You know what I mean? Like, we're not going to send them there. We're not going to create this tension. Y'all deal with this illegal immigrant problem on your own. We'll shut the fuck up. We'll do our own thing. We'll go to Texas. We'll go to Arizona. We'll go to territories that are friendly towards ICE, where their federal law enforcement will support.
I feel like, I don't. So if that lack of funding, federal funding, would cripple a state, like cripple them by like basically dismantling, public services that are necessary. If it's crippling the economy, if it's hurting their citizens, their residents, then I think that the leaders of that state would probably take the money and say, okay, ICE can operate here. But I'm saying, but if it's not going to dismantle their whole economy or make their residents struggle, I don't know, bro. It just depends. I don't know how hard that would cripple a state if they didn't take any more any federal funding. You know what I'm saying? Like, I'd have to figure out like what would be the repercussions of that on a domestic level. Like, how would that affect your citizens of your state, of your cities? with that lack of funding. And I'm sure it would do a lot because federal agencies, what are the federal buildings, federal programs, like all that is some federal funding. You know what I mean? Like that could be a lot of things. That could be Meals on Wheels. That could be free school lunches. That could be, Medicaid or anything that goes for Medicare. That could go for all of that. You know what I mean? Like I'm trying to figure out how much would that affect that. That means like we'd get no funding for like what, for disability, or I'm trying to figure out what that, you know what I mean? You wouldn't get any of that bread. Like that would affect a lot.
Right.
So I think that they would have to just be like, listen, we can't take that loss. And they would basically be coerced into taking ICE. I feel like you'd be forcing states to take ICE at that point because you're not really giving an option.
Well, I think you can't talk out of both sides of your mouth. You can't be like, hey, ICE. You can't be, hey, federal government, please give us, these resources that we need. But don't do that. We demanding that you don't do that. So if you're demanding that we don't do shit, okay, cool, we don't do it. But you also, like, if you're begging us for money, you also got to take the negative too.
It sounds like an ultimatum, though.
But it always is, right? It's just like, hey, yo, you know what? Like we talked about, the food stamps going off. Like niggas being like, all right, well, listen, you want to eat? What's up? But you try, like, you gotta, like,
government shutdown.
You can't beg for money and then be like, yo, yeah, well, I'm not agreeing to those terms. Just give me the money, though. That's not how it works.
I don't know, man. This is why I'm not a politician, because all this sucks, bro. I'm glad that these decisions aren't in my head.
Right.
I know that because I wouldn't want to do that. But like, yeah, for anybody in the community, if you're watching it live or if you're gonna catch it afterwards, like I said, like, let us know. We talked for a while. It was a productive, respectful conversation. I appreciate that. Me and Ty may definitely disagree on lots of things, but I'm glad that at least in this one, we're at least able to be respectful and make sure that everybody's perspectives got across. But I don't know. I don't think. Do you support full immunity of federal agents of ICE, like complete?
It depends on what they do. So just blanket.
Well, Trump's gonna give them to them just off the board. Trump's like,
no. If that's the case, no, I don't support that. No. So
just wondering.
So when I first saw the video, I didn't see the guy in front of the car. I just saw it on the side. So when I saw it on the side angle, I'm like, yo, if that dude did the pop, he gotta go.
Yeah.
I'm like, you gotta roof him because he's tripping. He was in no danger at all. Well, that's not true. Not no danger at all, because she could have turned and hit him. But still, it would have been minimal danger, I would say. But then when I saw another angle and there was a dude in front of the drone, my whole perspective changed. I'm like, okay, no. But in that situation, if the guy was there was never a guy in front of that car, I'd have been like, no, you got to fry that boy. You got to make an example out of him. You got to give him, you got to put him under the jail. Like you got to make a new jail for him. But then when I saw the dude in front, and I'm like, listen, bruh. Like I'm like, because it made me think of, and what brought some kind of passion to it to me is that it made me think of the last kind of cop debate that you, me, and Gio had. And it was like the dude was running with the gun and the cop shot him in the back. And y'all were like, yo, he shouldn't have shot him in the back, blah, blah. Or you remember that? Or no, well,
I remember the last one we talked about with G was the one about the guy who was killed when he was in the bathroom and he wouldn't come out.
Yeah. So it was the one before that. I don't know if you agree. I think you actually agree with me on that one. The one I'm thinking of when it was like a group.
It was a kid, right? Teenagers. It was a whole group of them, and then they ran out the car.
They jumped out the car and they were running, and the boy one of the kids had a gun on him. They were chasing that one. Right. They shot him. Right. And I didn't remember whether or not you said. Did you remember? Like, did you say, hey, yeah, you understood why they shot him in the back, or you didn't understand?
I remember saying that the guy did have a gun. The kid did have a gun. It wasn't pointed at the officer, and he was running away, and he was shot in the back. And I was like, if you shoot somebody in the back, you're not shooting somebody who's a threat at that point. They're trying to run away from you.
Yeah. So that's where I disagree with that. So I thought about that, and I was like, yo, if you just think about the mechanics of running, and you got a gun, right? You run it. In order to shoot somebody, you don't have to be a good shot. So you can just be lucky. So this nigga, he could have been running and just go, pow. You could have banged. It don't take nothing for that. People get shot. When people get shot in the leg, and the pinky toe, and the arm, and the foot, all that type of shit, that shit is all luck. No one knows how to shoot that accurately. I'm sorry to tell everybody. There is no John Wicks in the world. Matter of fact, I'm not going to say there's probably like 8 of them motherfuckers. And they all are like top class secret assassins that only like 20 people know. So like my thing was, and those cops gotta do that because they don't want to why would they trust this person that's running away vigorously to not sporadically just go pop? maybe they would have hit nothing. Maybe they would have hit the dude in his goddamn Adam's apple. You don't know. So that was my whole thing. My whole thing was, so I thought about that, and I'm like, yo, you gotta trust these people. You gotta trust these people that are acting sporadically and desperately trying to get away, that they won't either accidentally or on purpose hurt you or kill you. I shouldn't have said kill. Unalive you. You gotta trust that. And I would never trust anybody with that if they haven't earned that trust. There's like a handful of people that I could think of that I was like, you know what? I'm gonna trust this person with it. Anybody else ain't getting that trust. I'm not trusting you with my. If trusting you with my life means I might be unalived, I'm not doing it. I don't care. I don't care what you got going on.
And Ty, and I completely understand that sentiment. And this is a sentiment that you've shared before. And I don't want to go back to the back and forth when we go with this, because usually my response is the people on the other side can say the same argument. Am I going to put my life in this officer's hands, knowing that this officer could be trigger happy, could be afraid of me because of what I look like, could be angry or upset with something that happened and ready to tee off on me?
Why not just be like, yo, like in this lady's case, why not just be like, yo, because first of all, you're going to jail. Whether you get caught later or you get caught now, you're going to jail. This is a federal crime. You're 100% going to jail. Why not just put the joint in park and be like, yo, I'm gonna go to jail now? What did you think you were gonna do by trying to get away? Did you think you were gonna drive to Mexico and go live in Mexico?
I don't know, bro. Maybe she thought they were gonna shoot her if she told them. Maybe listen. We've had so many incidents where people have been pulled over, have followed all the laws and all the instructions given to them by the police officer, and they were still shot and they were still killed. So there was no guarantee that even if you follow and abide by the law, that you're going to walk out of the way alive. So if you're going on with the trust argument, why would you put your life? But I hear you. That argument can be said on the other side as well. And that is the thing when you bring up the trust. There's no trust of this agency. Why would I trust that law enforcement agency doesn't already want to shoot and kill me?
Fair,
why would I trust that? I'd probably want to drive off before he shot and killed me. And guess what?
But you also shouldn't go out of your way to antagonize that group.
She can say whatever she wants, bro.
No, but she can say whatever she wants and records. But once you get inside your car and try to cut them off of a street that they're going on, they're not just going to let you go. You're going to jail. You're going to jail.
Or they're going to shoot you in the face.
Or they're going to shoot you in the face if you try to run. But what's not going to happen is that you're not going to just go scot-free and then go back and go start scrolling on TikTok. That's 100% not going to happen. That's not going to happen.
Okay. All right. Well, Ty, listen. Usually you and G both said last time when we had this conversation about it wasn't about ICE, but it was about the gentleman in the bathroom, and he wouldn't come out, came out, Bull's dead, right? And you guys are like, when did Joe become so anti-police, anti-law enforcement? And I said that before, and I'll say it again. It's not that I'm anti-police and I'm anti-law enforcement. The thing is, I'm pro-life. I am pro-life. And anytime life is taken by a federal officer or a police law enforcement of any kind, that those situations should be held under intense scrutiny. Because you have to really justify why you took someone's life. Because it's not just Renee, right? I don't see just one person when you kill somebody. I see her partner now, who now is widowed. I see if she had brothers or sisters, if she had nieces or nephews, a mom and a dad, best friends. There's a whole network of people who get affected by the loss of life, right? And I always think that could be my cousin, that could be my sister, that could be me. And I always think about that first. I try to humanize these people who were killed. And then I ask myself, was the taking of that life, was it absolutely necessary? And if the answer is no, then I can't rock out with it. So I always think about people being human beings, not just one, and having families and having people who love them, and how it could also just be me. And I would hate for people to be talking about my life and being like, well, Joe should have did that. And Joe should have, like, if I got shot in my face by a police officer, I would hate to be dead. And people talking about me being like, well, Joe should have done that. And I'm like, damn, bro, like my whole fam, you know what I mean? Like, I try to think about human beings. And that's how I see it first. I try to have compassion for people. So we're gonna have to let the courts do this, because right now Minneapolis is up in its arms and they are protesting. Like, this is going to get worse. It's not going to get better. And if there's no justice for Renee, or if the officer gets off, I should say, it's going to get worse.
He definitely will.
It's not going to get better.
But let me ask you this. Take the Renee situation out. All right, you with your job, your life, your family, do you have enough time to protest? Like, is this something that you're physically able to do?
Well, physically I can do, yeah, but whether I don't have, if I have time, I will try to do it. But
Do you
political
have time?
activism is a young man's game. I'm not saying older people shouldn't be in it, but like I did a lot of protesting in my 20s. I was at City Hall for 3 days when they did Occupy Wall Street. I supported anti-ICE demonstrations when I was in California studying for college. I have been to marches where I've locked arms with people and chanted and been part of drum circles, and I've done those things. I believe that I have a history of political activism. I support people who are doing it now, and I support young people who are doing it because it's like, yo, we got to pass the baton to the younger generations because every right we've had has been because people have fought for those rights. And I support fighting for rights and fighting against injustice anywhere. So I physically have time now? I could make time, but like I'm older, I'm married, I have kids, I have a career. So it's completely different from when I was younger with less responsibility.
When I see these clips online, it's all like it seems to be like mostly middle-aged white women, and it seems like they don't have a job. Like, did middle-aged white women just all quit their jobs or something? Like, I'm like, did y'all all just like quit your jobs and start like protesting? Like, so y'all support illegal immigration, clearly, right? Because y'all don't want ICE to do their job. So y'all support illegal immigration. And this is something that y'all willing to like literally die over. Like, so what?
Yes, it's that deep. It is, bro. It's that deep. And I slaughtered the phrase earlier, but I remembered it now. Injustice anywhere is a threat to justice everywhere. That is the quote from Dr. King. That is the quote that I slaughtered earlier. And that injustice anywhere is a threat to justice everywhere. And so some people live by that, and support, and they hold that fire in them. And listen, we can't do it. You might not want to, but I can't do it anymore as much as I want to. And I'm happy that there are people still out there doing the work because it is so important and it is so necessary. Even in our political system, grassroots movements, all the energy Bernie had behind him when he had all the donations, people supporting him. And of course, both parties, Democrat and Republican, kicked them out of the race and they coerced them out of that, right? But I support grassroots movements. I support political activism. I support all that.
Record. Call them assholes. Call them pigs. Call them fuckers. Do whatever you want to do. Whatever you want to say, fine. But when you start driving your car into their convoys,
that's not what happened, though.
That's literally what she did.
Into their convoys? He was trying to hit him?
She drove it in front of them so they couldn't drive down the street. You saw that. She drove in a diagonal way.
Oh, like in front of their path.
Yeah, in front of her path, so they couldn't drive down the street. She drove in front of them.
She was trying to hit the car.
No. Well, I mean, there's been other examples of that. Like they throw things at them, rocks, big boulders, and shit like that. Like they destroy their cars. But this lady, in this particular instance, she drove in front of him so that they couldn't go down the street. Like, of course, you're going to jail. That's a felony. You're going to jail. Like that.
But I don't think that justifies shooting her in the face.
No. I agree. That doesn't justify shooting her in the face. What does justify shooting her in the face is her trying to drive away. That's crazy. Yeah. No, I mean, no.
But even the ICE agent Bull said, like, you are not supposed to be shooting at a fleeing vehicle to try to disable that vehicle. That's not. You're not supposed to.
But it wasn't. When the dude was in front of it, it wasn't just a fleeing vehicle. It was a vehicle that had a person in front of it. So it wasn't just a fleeing. So I agree with the sentiment. If it was the guy on the side, when you're in front, listen. She lucky it wasn't me, and I didn't have a grenade. Like I'm listen. I'm going home. I'm not trusting this person with my life. I'm not doing it. That's not happening.
And I'm with you. And the people don't trust law enforcement. So it's something we're gonna have to work this out somehow.
Then this going to keep happening. These white people.
It will, but it's gonna get. But it'll get bloodier though. It'll happen, but it's gonna get bloodier because people will start arming themselves as well.
People can't beat the government. Never gonna happen. They got nukes. Government got nukes. So
you're saying the government would nuke their own citizens?
I mean, if it's a lot of
that's a sad thought. If that, I'm
saying if you're saying, hey, it's gonna get bloody and blah blah blah, like okay, if it gets
you're okay with the government nuking its own citizens?
I'm not okay with the government nuking its own citizens, but what I'm saying is we can't win an arms race against the government. That's never gonna happen. It's not gonna happen.
If you have to slaughter your citizens, you ain't governing right. If you have to kill and slaughter your own citizens, you are horrible at governing your country. That's all I'm saying. In this hypothetical situation, you are horrible at governing your country if that's what it's come down to. You got to kill your citizens. That's you've done something wrong.
You've lost all control. Run over government officials. Then we
I'm just saying,
got to start over.
I'm not even talking about Trump. I'm talking about generally. Not even talking about Trump. I'm talking about generally. If as a government, if you have to kill your citizens, on that scale, you
I don't
have
think we should say that
failed your
word.
country somehow. I hope that never happened. Well, I mean, it's happened already. It's been happening.
Yeah,
But
I mean, it's been happening. I agree. We disagree. I think rightfully so. You think wrongfully so. But we're gonna see. I mean, this
we'll
one
see
keeps
what happens.
unraveling.
Listen,
And
and condolences. I don't know, or we're wrapping up the conversation about Renee, because this was a good conversation. I ain't gonna hold you, bro. This
yeah, it
was.
It was. I think. I mean, there was definitely. I was trying to find this other video, but I couldn't find the shit. Let me see. No. I was trying to find this other video before we call it a quits.
About the shooting, or
there was a. It was referencing the shooting.
Yeah.
But the guy talking about it, he was like the Chicago chief of police. He was basically like, yo, anybody who think it's cool to be like, jumping in these convoys and doing X, Y, and Z, just know, I mean, you kind of forfeiting your life a little bit. But listen, I do want to end this podcast on a funny note. All right, are you willing to laugh with me a little bit, or can we?
Yeah, I mean, what you got?
All right. This has. All right. So anybody that want to listen to more, Renee Good stuff, this ain't it. So you can click off. But this has nothing to do with Renee Good, right? This is just something that I wanted to play. It caught my eye on TikTok the other day, and it was one of the funniest things I've seen in like a long ass time. So I'm gonna play this, and this is gonna be a good thing that Joe and I gonna kiss and make up on, and we're gonna both laugh together. Check this out.
This is Pinky. He's a male cat, domestic short hair. He's available for adoption. He's pet of the week, Placer County Animal Shelter. He's a very loving cat.
Hang on, please. Oh, yeah. Pinky.
Pinky.
Pinky. Whoa.
Well, we got a wildcat on our hands. Pinky, settle down, bud. Careful, Cole. Careful. Well, I get a catch pole. Somebody get a catch pole. Just set it over. Get a catch pole.
Catch our pole to get him?
Yeah, because I'm not going to grab him. Oh, dude.
I think it's caught up in the disconnected from the deck. You got him back?
Use my language.
Oh shit!
What the Pinky?
Pinky went crazy. Hey Joe. The first comment on this video is Pinky still available?
Dang, they made boy look so dumb, bro. Like he's a loving animal, and then Pinky just started spazzing, bro. I don't think I've ever seen a cat throw a tantrum like that, though. So for me, I was just surprised to see how hard Pinky was going. Like Pinky was going hard in the paint. Like he or she, I don't know, was it a boy? I don't know, but
I'm assuming it's a girl, but
and the way he screamed when she bit it. Damn, Pinky. You just like seeing people get abused by animals, bro.
Yo. Oh shit. Yo, my man said, is Pinky still available?
Yeah.
All right, listen.
Pinky might have got put down after that. I ain't gonna lie. Pinky might have get put down after that.
Yo. Thanks for joining us today, y'all. This is our first live in what 6-7 months or something like that.
I know this was fun, bro. I miss going live, man. I really do.
Yeah, we got. I think we got to do it at least once a week, bro. Like we got to kind of like establish this. Let the 5,000 community members know what time it is. You know what I mean? Like that. We
absolutely
go live on some controversial stuff. You know what I mean? That we may or may not agree with. Because to be honest, I thought we was going to agree with this one. We ended up not. But it was still respectful. We still talked. We still gave each other, you know what I mean? Like the green light to go whatever. And I mean, I had a fun time tonight.
Yeah, bro, this was dope. This was dope. So yeah, this was dope. I'm glad for those of you who are here. Thank you so much. Thank you for those who have helped us reach 5,000 subscribers. The grind has been slow, but we are going up. Ty's been putting a lot of the work in, keeping the videos coming out, and the editing. So I appreciate that too. But like, we just want to keep growing. We want to keep changing. We want the platform to keep evolving. And we just want to keep bringing you guys interesting topics of discussion, man. We want y'all to engage. Please keep commenting. We love the comments. We love when y'all engage. Thank you so much. We really do. We love y'all, man. We appreciate y'all.
Yeah, it's pretty cool. It's pretty cool. All right, listen. Let us know what y'all think, family. Comment, like, subscribe. Until next time.